Couple things here in Columbia, Missouri. A chance at the first conference win of the year against the South Carolina Gamecocks. And also the weather has cleared up as the team runs out. It started off wet and soggy, but conditions have cleared up. We should be okay. Gamecocks and Tigers. Carolina has won the last 3 in this Eastern Division rivalry. All the talk leading in has been about the 2 quarterbacks. The savvy veteran, the grad transfer from Clemson, one Kelly Bryant, has been sharp thus far through his first 3 games in a Missouri uniform. 6 touchdown passes. That's 3rd best in the SEC, nearly 800 yards. And you go from the veteran to the fresh-faced true freshman Ryan Hilinski, who even in a loss against Alabama played very well. There's been a whole lot of talk about Ryan's health after taking a lot of hits and throwing a lot of balls last week. And for more on that, here's Tara Talmadge.
Now, South Carolina has confirmed to us that Ryan Hilinski was limited in practice this week due to some discomfort in his throwing arm, particularly in his elbow. Now, he was out here earlier in warm-ups, throwing just like normal, and no visible signs of any discomfort. He is set to start this game.
Tara, thank you so much. Mike Morgan alongside the former linebacker Ray Bentley. And Ray, let's start off there. I think everybody's going to be very anxious to see how both these quarterbacks start off the game as the kickoff is sailed into the end zone, and Mizzou will have it 1st and 10 from a 25. We do know what we're getting with Kelly Bryant, of course. Kelly Bryant, this is not his first rodeo.
No, he's very experienced, and that is, I think, the best part of his game, although he's extremely athletic. And I think as he continues to develop and Derek Dooley, the offensive coordinator, gets more comfortable with him, figures him out, this offense has the potential to be extremely explosive.
It's an offense with 8 straight games of 31 points or more. And they've outscored their opponents 51-0 in the first quarter, but that's not the stat Missouri cares about. They've lost 3 in a row to the Gamecocks. On first down, Bryant rolling out right. Missiles one complete to the 32, and that'll be first down yardage. Jonathan Nance with his 6th reception of the year.
Well, Bryant shows you his athleticism and his ability to throw on the run right there on that first play. See his numbers, and I tell you, Missouri won the Bryant sweepstakes last January and got him to transfer here, and that was a huge get for Barry Odom and his staff.
Roundtree, the lone back, and they'll feed the big man. It's stacked up pretty well by the left side of that Gamecock defensive line. Curtis Jones in on the stop for Carolina. There is the starting lineup for Mizzou. Albert O, also known as Albert Okwuegbunam, one of the top tight end targets in the country, a potential first-round draft pick. Second down and 9 with a man in motion. That's Johnson. Bryant under duress, and that ball is almost picked off near the line of scrimmage. Aaron Sterling, the junior out of Atlanta, Georgia, got one of his paws on it.
Sterling did a really nice job of recognition. Saw it was going to be a little drop screen there. He put on the brakes on his pass rush and was right in the throwing lane for Bryant. He kind of had to just drop it down on the ground.
Now a 3rd down opportunity here. 3rd down and 9. Bryant works out of the gun. Gamecocks rushing just 3. Bryant in trouble, under duress, now shifting gears, and finally brought down at the 44-yard line. T.J. Brunson with a nice open field tackle. He was the leading tackler the last 2 years for Carolina.
And they expected Bryant to scramble. You see the 2 defensive tackles both sat back and spied him, and Bryant was able to get away, but they forced him to run around enough so that other guys could show up and make the tackle before the chains.
The Gamecock defense holds on its first challenge of the day. Brian Edwards back to receive the punt, the senior from Conway. Tucker McCann, who does it all, one of the top kicking and punting weapons in the country. One will take a Missouri bounce, and it is going to roll dead inside the 5. Tucker McCann, 8th time he has sent a punt inside the 20. A 52-yard punt and no return. And now we'll get our first look at the aforementioned Ryan Hilinski, freshman out of Orange, California. Family moving to Columbia, Lake Murray to be exact, once he decided to go to the Gamecocks. And the thing that just jumps off the film, Ray Bentley, is when you watch him, the quick release stands out.
Yeah, that's what really impressed me, and that and his composure. I mean, as a true freshman. He's making his first start on the road in the SEC, and you couldn't tell by looking at him.
Hilinski threw 57 passes a week ago against Alabama and threw for 324 yards. 3-wide set on first down. Hilinski from his end zone rifles one, incomplete.
That shows you the confidence they have in Hilinski to be backed up like that, and he's going to just throw the ball on the first play of the game out of his own end zone. He was a little bit short on that one, and there was some question and some talk about his arm. And as far as in warm-ups, he looked just fine. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the game.
Intended for Edwards, now second down, and that time he and Edwards were not on the same page. So 2 throws off the mark so far by the freshman Hilinski.
And that makes me think even more about his right elbow, and because I haven't seen him miss 2 throws in a row like that in the 2 games that I've seen him play.
No, very uncharacteristic. Now 3rd down and 10. An empty backfield, a precarious spot for the freshman here. Missouri showing blitz, they bring it. Hilinski cocks and fires, and a scooping catch at the 11-yard line. And that's Chavis Dawkins, the senior from Duncan, South Carolina, but it's going to be short of a first down. 8 yards on the pickup.
Not the start Hilinski was envisioning for sure, but that throw looked a little better.
Now you got to be careful here. Rashad Floyd is back to receive the punt from Charlton. Floyd has 3 career punt returns for touchdowns.
He went 71 last week.
Great looking punt by Charlton, and Floyd has to angle back all the way to the 25. Momentum takes him to the 19, looking for a seal block out of an ankle tackle. 30, 40, and down the sideline, wrapped up at midfield. Great return by Rashad Lloyd, the 5th-year senior.
No score here early in Missouri as we break down Kelly Bryant. The thing I like the most about him is his ability to escape in the pocket. Watch him on this play. It's a muddied up view, makes a man miss, steps up, keeps the vision down the field, and then flips it in for a little touchdown pass. He's outstanding in terms of running around. Now the vision that he has, he's scanning the whole field. I don't know how he saw this receiver who was hidden along the sideline and behind a corner. He still finds him, zips it out for a touchdown. Those are some of the skills Bryant brings to the table.
Of course, he later torched West Virginia in a convincing victory for Mizzou after that heartbreaking Week 1 loss to Wyoming. To pick up a guy like Kelly Bryant off the transfer portal, whatever you want to call it these days, it's so huge. When you think about it, everybody thought he was going to Auburn or Arkansas, and that was one of the things that Derek Dooley, offensive coordinator, told us. He said, yeah, I like that we were flying under the radar.
Yes, and that's what they did. He called it a business-type transaction. He said he really enjoys recruiting seniors.
Better than 17-year-old kids, that's for sure. Little crossing route, caught, yards after catch, will give Jonathan Johnson a first down, and that should put him over 2,000 career yards. Just the 11th player all-time in Missouri history. The other 10, by the way, all made it to the NFL.
It's a good sign.
In plus territory on first down. To the ground game, gaping hole right side, inside the 25. It's Tyler Beatty, the talented sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. He's the more elusive of the 2 backs.
Yeah, and T.J. Brunson blitzed right into where Beatty was running, and they passed each other like 2 ships in the night. Beatty is pretty shifty.
On first down, Bryant going to tuck it and run. 20, 15, 10, still on his feet inside the 5, and down to the 3-yard line before Bukwamu makes the stop. A gain of 20 yards for Bryant.
When the Tigers get down in this area of the field, Derek Dooley takes the shackles off of Bryant, and you will see him run the football a lot more, just like he did in that.
This is normally Albert O territory. Look out for the big tight end. There he is, right near the left tackle. 20 career touchdowns for Albert O. Beatty the lone back on first and goal. Beatty stacked up pushes the pile forward for about a yard. This Gamecock defense had a tough time against Alabama, but then again, who doesn't? Pretty difficult to cover that personnel no matter what they're running.
Yeah, they ran up and down the field. Those receivers for Alabama, they made the Gamecock secondary look out of sorts, I guess would be a nice way to put it.
The thing that Will Muschamp was adamant with us about the missed tackles, that's what drove them crazy. That's what they have to clean up this week. On second down, Roundtree spinning and down inside the 1-yard line. Larry Roundtree, who has 4 straight games with a touchdown, trying to make it 5 there.
Coach Dooley called him a plotter, but he meant it as a compliment.
Right.
I took it that way myself. I've been referred to as a plotter in my days, and we're guys that just keep going, right? One step after another, punch it in.
Well, let's see if he plots right here. He dots the I.
Alberto up top.
3rd and goal. Roundtree up and not in. Great stop by that Gamecock interior.
This is getting low and then coming up over the top. Great play by T.J. Brunson in his 3rd year starting. The senior linebacker met him at the summit.
Any question they're going to go for it here. The ball is inside the 1. It's 4th down at about a foot.
I would have Bryant keep it on this.
8th play of the drive. Roundtree, the deep back. Bryant swarmed under and sacked for a huge loss on the play. Great surge by that Gamecock defense.
Berry, the defensive lineman, the tackle, was able to slide inside untouched, and he was playing Bryant the entire way.
Great play by Kingsley Enagbari, and the Gamecocks stop Mizzou on 4th down. He is Ray Bentley. I am Mike Morgan. Great to be with you here in Como. And Ray, again, we can turn back to the quarterbacks. We know what we're getting from Kelly Bryant. We're still not sure what we're going to see from Ryan Hilinski. How much is that elbow bothering him at all versus just being a true freshman?
Yeah, that's something that's going to have to play out. I mean, we had mixed results there in that first drive. 2 errant throws, 1 good one.
On 1st down, first carry of the game by Rico Dowdle, who was brilliant last week against Alabama. Ran for over 100 yards against the Crimson Tide.
Tempo here.
And a quick throw deflected. And down to the ground, incomplete.
And Chris Turner, the junior defensive end, came off the edge untouched. And they don't expect him to be able to make that play, but he did a good job getting up and knocking it away.
Correction, the penalty is half the distance from the spot of the foul. Loss of down, 3rd down.
Let's take a look at it and see for ourselves. 1 forward pass.
And then the ball hits the ground. Where's the 2nd forward pass?
Did Hilinski bat it down and they're calling that a pass? That's a myth. All right, there's the forward pass. Okay.
He caught it and then threw it right to the ground.
And if he threw that backwards, that very well could be a fumble and a touchdown. Although they wouldn't let you advance it unless Cale Garrett got it in the end zone. Yeah, that would look backwards to me.
A freshman
immediate
mistake
recovery.
right there.
That might be 6 points Missouri there.
After further review, the 2nd pass by the South Carolina quarterback was backward. There was an immediate recovery in the end zone by Missouri. Touchdown.
Wow. Well, as you heard Matt Austin mention, that is an extremely bizarre and unusual play. I don't think I've ever seen it quite done like that. You've seen quarterbacks throw it, have it batted, then catch it, and maybe run. But clearly, what Ryan Hilinski was hoping to do was just bat it down straight into the ground and make the play dead. But by throwing it backwards, Missouri catches a huge break.
Yeah, that's one of the wildest, weirdest plays I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that myself. But when you look at it on the replay, that there's no disputing that's what happened.
I give Cale Garrett, the veteran linebacker, credit. Heads-up play by him to pick it up and take it to the end zone. So Missouri, a defensive score, opens up the scoring here in Como. 7-0 Mizzou. It was bizarre, but Missouri will gladly take it. Cale Garrett, the senior, who's made so many big plays during his 4 years in a Tigers uniform. Alert play on him, and now Mizzou continues to just open up a can in the first quarter against opponents, now outscoring their 4 opponents this year. 58-0 so far in the opening quarter.
Well, Mike, just when you think you've seen it all,
I've never seen that.
Something like that pops up, but Cale Garrett knew immediately. I mean, he was right there on the spot, and that's why he picked it up and raised his arms.
Good luck returning a kickoff against Tucker McCann. That's 22 of 23 kickoffs unreturned on the year. He's got one of the best legs in all of college football. He's so sharp in the last 2 games. This technically is his first career road start. A lot was made of that, but if you look good against Alabama, I don't care where on planet Earth you play, you're not going to be phased playing on the road. Hilinski keeps it, and Hilinski slides down at the 38-yard line to pick up a 5 for the freshman.
Nice decision by Hilinski. I mean, that's a tough one sometimes. The guy coming off the edge was coming right at him, but he felt he could get him on the edge, so he kept it. Moved the sticks about 5 yards. What, 2nd and 5 here?
Dowdle in the backfield on 2nd down. And again, that throw wide of the mark, intended for Bryant Edwards, his top target. Will Muschamp now in his 4th year. The first couple of years, really, they were ahead of schedule. He took over a total rebuild. And last year, they had a tough showing in the bowl game. This year, disappointing loss in week 1 to the Tar Heels. And this is one of those swing games that is going to help define the season, really, for both these teams.
They're all must wins, but this one is a must win. Double mustard.
On 3rd and 5. Hilinski with all kinds of time goes underneath, but that's not going to get it done. Bryant Edwards 3 yards shy of the marker.
Great coverage down the field by the Tiger defense. There was nowhere else for Hilinski to throw that football. Had to drop it down.
Joseph Charlton on the punt. 5th-year senior out of AC Flora High School back in Columbia, South Carolina. Booms this one. Fair catch called for at the 16-yard line. 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Bryant in the pocket, another penalty flag. This will likely be a hold, and Bryant is sacked. That's 15, Aaron Sterling, the junior out of Atlanta.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 50. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
It's on Hiron White, the right tackle.
Rules are rules, though, right? Can't touch him, can't hit him in the head, but it's got to be a forcible blow. That was not a forcible blow.
2nd and 15, almost a circus catch by Jonathan Johnson, but he can't reel it in. It'll be 3rd and long. We thought we might see a higher scoring game, but that's not the indication thus far. Both these defenses have been rather salty in the first quarter.
Missouri defense really has improved since week 1. They ran into trouble up in Wyoming, and they turned it around in a hurry.
On 3rd and long, Missouri plays it conservative, and there's a fumble. Ball down at the 25 and scooped up by the Gamecocks.
Kinlaw got it.
Big old Javon Kinlaw, 310 pounds, pounced on it.
Bentley took the air right out of it, too. But a big play by this Carolina defense. Looked like, yeah, that was Aaron Sterling who ripped the ball out from his knees. And then Big Kinlaw came over and pounced on it.
A break for the Gamecocks on the turnover. Great field position, best of the day for Carolina. And it's going to be Joyner at quarterback on first down, working out of the shotgun.
A little pistol bone here.
Fakes the handoff, trying to get to the edge, and it's strung out well by Missouri. Joshua Bledsoe, the safety on the stop, a loss of 3.
And Missouri was playing run all the way in that formation, so they had the safeties up in position to make a play, and Bledsoe did just that.
Joyner going to stay in at quarterback. Again with that pistol look. Again, he's only thrown 2 career passes. He tried to throw a third, but is sacked at the 35-yard line.
Gillespie, the safety, coming in, making another play as they bring him in on the blitz. Look at him at the top of your screen. He comes in there and nobody blocks him. He reacts quickly, gets on the quarterback Joyner, and Joyner does a smart thing by not throwing that football and just tucking it down.
Staff told us Tyree Gillespie is the fastest player on the team, even at 215 pounds. He got in there quick. Well, now that backs him up. It's a 3rd and 19. Hilinski back in at quarterback. Play action. Hilinski going to uncork a deep ball. Has a man in the end zone. Juggling catch, but out of bounds. Edwards hauled it in, but could not get a foot in bounds.
Hilinski threw that almost 50 yards in the air, so he answered a few questions with that deep throw. Oh, great play again by Gillespie. Just getting his hand in between the hands of Edwards and tipping that thing up.
The long for Parker White, a 48-yarder against Alabama. This will be from 50. Kick on the way, and that does not have a chance, but wide right. 50-yarder wide right by Parker White, just his 2nd miss of the year. Missouri taking over after the missed field goal. Bryant on the scramble. Bryant brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Aaron Sterling again.
Sterling's having a whale of a game so far. Forced fumble, got a sack, now makes a tackle for a loss. Somebody might want to try to block him.
Got D-line getting some good pressure here in this first quarter. 4 wide look on 2nd down. Trying to get to the edge as Roundtree. Penalty flag falls as Roundtree is dropped for a loss.
Brunson came up and filled the hole like a man. That was a great linebacker play.
Holding. Offense, number 75. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
That's on the right guard, Trevor Wallace-Sims. We asked the coaching staff and Coach Odom about all the penalties that Missouri's had, and he's kind of shrugged it off, saying, we're okay.
Yeah, I was taken aback. That was the most bizarre answer I think I've ever got regarding penalties, and they've hurt Missouri here early on in the year. That one, fortunately for them, declined, but put them in a 3rd and long.
5 in the pattern on 3rd and 12, and a leaping catch by Jonathan Nance. The senior goes top floor and picks up a 1st down, a gain of 22.
Kelly Bryant finds it again. And you see him, he's eyeballing it over there, makes a really nice throw, and then it's all of the receiver of Nance getting a foot down while taking a hit.
Mizzou back into plus territory. Fake it to Roundtree. Bryant keeps it. And nowhere to go. Bryant will tiptoe out of bounds. That's an executive decision right there. No need to take a hit for the senior quarterback. He'll pick up a yard.
And he saw Jemias Williams right there in his grill. He said, I'll just live to fight another day. This is the area of the field where they'll open it up a little bit more, but we're going to call this the end of the first quarter here.
So how about
That's
that?
the end of the first
Two
quarter.
teams we thought could put up a lot of points today. We saw 1 touchdown. It was on the defensive side for Missouri. Mizzou up by 7 as we get ready for quarter number 2 here in Como. With Ray Bentley and Tara Talmadge, Mike Morgan here in Columbia, Missouri. It's the Tigers leading the Gamecocks 7-0 on a defensive touchdown by senior linebacker Cale Garrett. Not a whole lot of offense for either side in the opening quarter, under 100 yards combined. Second down, Bryant racing forward inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Kelly Bryant came in to this game 24 carries and just 26 yards, but you see he is capable of being a very adept runner in this offense.
Yeah, and he saw the defense. It was man. There was no one underneath in the middle, so I think he just decided, I'm going to, if there's a little bit of a hole, I'm going up there and taking it, and that's exactly what he did.
Mizzou 1 for 5 on third down. This is 3rd and 3. Bryant looks to pass. All kinds of time. Bryant can file his taxes and finally throws incomplete. I mean, he had all day to survey, but give the Gamecocks secondary credit, nobody was open.
And they only rushed 2 guys again. They play that soft middle trying to spy, and if Bryant scrambles, they want to make a play, but Bryant just missed his man there. That's just simply a bad throw by the quarterback.
Now McCann, and you know he's got the leg. He's got a long of 52. That came last week. This one will be from 47 yards out. Kick on the way. Has the distance, and it is true. 47-yard boot by the senior Tucker McCann. 13:22 to play first half. It's Mizzou 10 and Carolina nothing. Dari, thank you much. My concern for Kentucky going into that game, hangover effect, devastating loss last week to Florida. A game they seemingly had in hand. And off to a rough start in cowbell country. 10-0 our score here. Mizzou on top, and another unreturnable kick from Tucker McCann. Let's see if this Gamecock offense can get it going. A rough start for the freshman Ryan Hilinski, just 3 of 8 for 1 passing yard. The lone touchdown in this game came on a fumble by Hilinski and an unorthodox play. Edwards in motion. Dowdle again. Burrowing for about a yard.
Cale Garrett is so valuable to this Tiger defense, and they'll move him around. They put him on the edge on this one, and he's basically an outside linebacker blitzing down to the inside, but he's able to redirect as well as anybody. He slid down in there and made that tackle.
Been such a productive player in his time at Mizzou. And he's really helped teach some of the other younger players, like his linebacker mate Nick Bolton, number 32, who's going to be a good one.
And Bolton's come a long way after week 1.
Dowdle with blockers ahead, but a great open field tackle.
There he is.
There he is again. Nick Bolton, the sophomore from Frisco, Texas. He's one of 5 starters on this Missouri defense that hail from the Lone Star State. They've been big in recruiting Texas.
Well, they got a good one right there. SEC Player of the Week. Had a pair of interceptions, and he's improved. You know, I watched him week 1 against Wyoming, and he was a little bit lost. But see, if Missouri brings pressure, they like to do so in these type of downs. The key to that will be Cale Garrett. He's lined up in one of the A gaps right up in here. Drops out.
Hilinski, clean pocket, and throws again just off target. Intended for Shi Smith, a junior from Union, South Carolina.
Yeah, they showed the pressure, backed out of it, and that throw was a little bit off. Had it been out in front, I believe that they'd have had a chance. Smith would have had a chance at it. Not executing on offense on either side.
Charlton on to punt. A dangerous Floyd back to receive. And he will signal for the fair catch at the 7-yard line. Again, the Gamecocks have won 3 in a row in this series. None more entertaining than last year's finale. The Tigers taking a 35-34 lead on Tucker McCann's career-long 57-yard field goal, but then the Gamecocks marched down the field with precious seconds on the clock, making it all the way to the Missouri 16-yard line, and that's when Parker White nailed this field goal in the waning seconds for a Gamecock victory, 37-35. That is a memory that Kelly Bryant wasn't here for, but everybody else in a Missouri uniform just about was, and it's left a bitter taste in the mouth of this Missouri program, including Barry Odom, who was quick to point out the last 3 years when they've lost these games to the Gamecocks, turnover margin -7 combined.
Hard to win when you do that.
Bryant throws high, but a nice job reeling it in by Jalen Knox, the talented sophomore. I like their wide receivers.
I do too. Knox is a guy that can take the top off of a defense, and you saw his athleticism going up and get the ball. We've seen Johnson make some underneath catches and run with it, and then they have Jonathan Nance, the transfer from Arkansas, who has contributed.
This is Bryant on 2nd and short, and he will tap dance his way into the first down at the 22-yard line. Gain of 5.
See if they go some tempo here after getting that first down.
Hand off to Beatty. Trying to find daylight off right tackle. There's nothing there. Beatty devoured near the line of scrimmage.
That's Aaron Sterling, along with some help from Ernest Jones, again making a defensive play. And I had some questions about this defense, mostly the back end after watching last week's game against Alabama, but I think you have questions about any defense that plays, any back end that plays against Alabama.
No question.
The front 7 was pretty solid.
Bryant with time, missiles one, and that's behind the intended target. That's Dominic Jacinto, the sophomore. Now, Kelly Bryant hasn't exactly been sharp either with his throws.
No, this one's just, as you said, just a little off. He's got all day to throw it, and then he's going to be mad at himself when he watches the tape on that one, because that's about as easy as it gets.
That could have been some big yards after the catch as well if you hit him in stride. Now 3rd down and 9. Missouri 2 for 7 on 3rd down. Gamecocks dialing up a blitz. Bryant, little dump pass, and it's picked off at the 20. Down the sideline, and a touchdown for DJ Wanham, the senior out of Stone Mountain, Georgia.
And Wanham was not where Kelly Bryant expected him, because they brought a 5-man pressure with some loops and twists. So Wanham starts inside, ends up outside, and showed up out of nowhere, and Bryant hit him right on the 8, the chest, and it goes the other way for 6.
And they might have marked it out of bounds inside
Ruling
the
on the
1.
field is an interception by the defense. At the return team was knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. It'll be first down, 1-yard line.
Oh, he lost that ball.
He lost the ball, so just shy of the goal line, but a huge break as Carolina finally gets the ball in the red zone here. They'll have it at about the 1-foot line.
That might be the biggest hit of the game so far. Delivered by Kelly Bryant. That was a whack right there.
Like a little frustration out on the play.
I think so.
Dowdle banging bodies. Touchdown. Rico Dowdle with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, and the Gamecocks are finally on the board.
Thanks to their defense. Both defenses have really led the scoring charge here this afternoon.
We basically have had 2 defenses account for the 2 touchdowns in this game.
That's a nice inside run by Dowdle, though. He got hit pretty hard, but he had the momentum and the wherewithal to get that ball across the goal line.
Parker White on for the extra point. And with 9:35 to go, it's a 3-point game.
Well, it all started on defense here. Bryant did not see the big man Wanham, and he heads to the end zone. Doesn't quite get there, but they'll cap it off with a Dowdle score. Mike, if I thought out loud, I'd be in trouble.
Oh, I know it. I've already heard some of your thoughts. Kick off into the end zone. Mizzou will take over at the 25. Bryant. Little dump down pass to the 25. Daylight ahead by Beatty, and Beatty tight roping the sideline, finally goes down to the 45-yard line. Nifty move by the sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee.
And Beatty, that's his game. Get him on the edge, receiver type, and he will make people miss and look foolish in space, and he'll run you over if you ain't careful.
Derek Dooley says Beatty's got juice. I like that. They got called out last week. A lot of broken tackles, bad angles. Again, Alabama will do that to a lot of folks, but there were clearly some things that had to be cleaned up. Will Muschamp told us point blank, as a former safety, I'm embarrassed the way our safeties have been playing. So they really wanted to make sure some of those bad plays in the secondary got cleaned up.
So far, so good today.
On second down, Bryant going to tuck it and run. Bryant with daylight, and Bryant down to the 30-yard line.
That's that same play they ran effectively earlier, where they pull the backside guard and they bring a tight end through as well. Bryant makes the fake and then gets up in behind it, and there's a big seam. You see those guys pulling over there. It's actually tackle and guard pull. A little slide on the end, and then let's break dance. You do that head spin stuff, don't you, Mark?
Windmill, backspin.
Yeah.
Inchworm, sure. 22 yards on the pickup. Straight ahead running on first down by Larry Roundtree. Nothing flashy about Larry Roundtree. He just takes what's there. Strong runner, solid. 4 straight games with a touchdown this season. A little razzle-dazzle here into the hands of Johnson. Johnson has a crease, and Johnson will take it inside the 15. Derek Dooley opening up the offense a little bit on this drive. A pickup of 14.
And how about Kelly Bryant? He tackles hard, and now he gets a block. Keeps a man from getting to his runner on the outside, and this offense seems to have heated up a little bit. The run game doing it for him, man. A few tricks.
Best looking drive of the day for Mizzou. First down from the 14. Handoff. Great stick there. Roundtree goes down after 2 or 3 tough yards.
Kobe Smith is the man who had that great stick, stepped up in the hole, and that was the end of it. This is Albert O country right here.
That really is. He's been quiet so far today. Bryant keeps. Bryant gets to the edge and fights for an extra couple of yards down to the 3-yard line.
They used Albert O in a way that we're not accustomed to. He was the lead blocker on that thing, and he cleared it out pretty good.
20 career touchdown receptions for that man, number 81. You see him on the right side of the formation. Bryant rifles one wide open at the 5, and there he is. Albert O, career score number 21.
Somebody's going to get chewed out on the sideline, because this is a guy they talked about double teaming in the red zone, and nobody sees him. He just whips it out to the outside. No coverage at all anywhere. Everyone else was locked up, but they let the number 1 guy slide to the edge.
This was the only pass on the drive. Had a little traffic there on that side of the ball. And Albert O found himself wide open.
I'm sure it wasn't intentional.
A rub, not a pick, is that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say.
The extra point is good, and Missouri taking a 10-point lead to halftime.
Not what we expected, but very entertaining. There were some great plays on defense.
Yeah.
And I think offenses, when they get in there at halftime, they'll be able to make adjustments, and we'll see a little matriculation in the second half.
Hoping to hear from Missouri head coach Barry Odom as he makes his way near Tara Talmadge on the sideline. South Carolina 1 first down in that first half, 30 yards of offense. So you know Barry Odom, if he's happy about one thing, it'll be about that Missouri defense.
They did pick it up towards the end there of that second quarter.
Let's send it down to Tara.
Coach, defense came out strong. What have you been impressed by with them so far?
Well, they're playing really smart football right now. They're playing with confidence, and we've got to continue to do that because we know we'll get some adjustments here the second half. We've got to be able to adjust and keep playing with the energy we've got.
What do you want to see from your offense coming out in the second half?
Well, we've got to sustain some drives. We've got to make plays. Had too many drops, too many missed throws. We need to establish the run.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Tara, thank you. 10-point game of the half coming up. It's Darian Oka, Gene Chizik, and Chris Doring in the studio with the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Defense dominating half number one here in Como, Missouri, leading the South Carolina Gamecocks 17-7, our halftime score. As we welcome you back inside the booth, he is former linebacker Ray Bentley. I am Mike Morgan. Ray, we talked about these quarterbacks at the top. We got the true freshman, we got the senior transfer. Both guys very effective so far this season, but really it was Kelly Bryant stealing the show in half number one.
Yeah, he was definitely better. Hilinski didn't play very well at all, but Bryant was effective in terms of not only running the football, but he picked it up making some throws later on, and they got that offense in gear just a little bit.
We talked about Ryan Hilinski, questions about his health a little bit, did not throw the way he normally does in practice this week. He looked a little bit rough. How does he sure things up in the second half?
Well, I don't know. It's very concerning because he was not accurate, as you said, and if it's an arm problem, there ain't much you can do until he gets healthy. Now, if it's a mental thing, he can come around, and maybe he will. We'll have to see what happens here in the second half.
We know one thing that won't happen. That's a return on a kickoff for the Gamecocks as Tucker McCann sends it into the end zone, and we say hello to Tara.
Well, I spoke with Will Muschamp coming out of the half and asked him about Ryan Hilinski and how impressed he's been with what he's done so far. All he really said is they've got to help him out. They've got to run the ball more. They can't keep dropping the ball. And as for the offense to really get going, it's simple. They've got to get the ball downfield.
They've certainly struggled to do that in half number one.
They only took one deep shot the whole half, Mike. That's something that I think what coach is talking about, at least loosen this defense up a little bit.
They're going to start off empty, 5-wide set on first down, complete at the 20, 25-30, whole lot of daylight ahead. Past midfield, into plus territory, 30. Edwards inside the 20. Edwards diving for the pylon, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. A gain of 74.
Well, you wanted some offense, boom, there it is. And this is just a little slip screen back to the inside, and it's all about Edwards and his accelerator, man. He just hit the gas pedal and weaved his way through the field, and then at the end he stepped out of bounds before he got the ball inside the pylon.
After review, the runner touched the pylon with the ball before going out of bounds, resulting in a touchdown.
Right on, partner.
Game clock operator, please reset the
Brian
game clock
Edwards
to 14:49.
has his third receiving touchdown of the year. He's their big play guy. And what a big play that was on a simple screen. Edwards does the rest.
Thank you.
That was an explosive play, and you know they tried to get the ball to him, and this is the first time they were able to really do it where he had some space, and boy, he made it happen.
The Gamecocks had 30 yards of offense the entire first half. They had 75 on that play.
Over doubled it.
Parker White sneaks it inside the upright, and it's back to a 3-point game. 11 seconds off the clock on a 75-yard touchdown from Hilinski to Edwards.
He did a nice job looking off to his left, took a shot, but delivered it on time, and then it's all about Edwards, and he got a couple good blocks too. They could have called holding here, as you see the receiver number 83 just latch on to the defender. That's Travis Dawkins, but he got away with it, and here you go. But there are several good blocks throughout this play.
Maybe that'll do, even though it's not the most complex throw in the world, that'll do some world of good for the confidence of one Ryan Hilinski.
I'm going to call it his best throw of the day. How's that?
That'll work. Now Kelly Bryant, the savvy veteran, will try to respond here on a drive. On first down, there's a Roundtree, and he lumbers his way for a pickup of 10 and a first down.
They come right back to that pulling the backside guard and tackle, down blocking from the front side, and they've had a crease there just about every time they've run that blocking scheme.
Two tight ends set here for Missouri, Alberto and Daniel Parker on the field. Roundtree takes the handoff and is jammed up right at the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by Wanham and Brunson. TJ Brunson, the leading tackler the last 2 years for Carolina, the senior out of Richland Northeast High School back in Columbia. Five in the pattern for Bryant. From the pocket, completes it near midfield, and that'll get some of that penalty yardage back. It'll set up a 3rd down and 10.
They love to hitch the ball on that empty formation. And what Kelly Bryant does is he surveys the field. He's got 5 receivers out there, and he picks who he wants. He finds his huckleberry, and he lets the ball go in that direction.
Mizzou 4 of 12 on 3rd down. 5 on the line for Carolina. Now they'll peel back. Play clock at 5. 3-man rush. Bryant all kinds of time, and it's complete. Into the hands of Jonathan Nance.
I don't know. I think they're better off getting after him. As you said, really it was only a 2-man rush. Sterling was at nose, and he didn't really even get any penetration. You let Bryant pick you apart, stand back there. I don't know if that's good pull.
Roundtree with some tough yards, keeps the legs churning straight ahead.
Plodding forward. He's a tough, strong runner. You look at him, and people tend to bounce off him. Fresh defensive line in for Carolina. Yeah, they're deep up front there. They like to roll those guys through.
12 personnel in for Mizzou on 1st down. On play action, Bryant tips and incomplete. Fine play.
Boy, he missed. Excuse me, Mike. He missed. Alberto was wide open running down the seam. I can't believe that wasn't his first look. He was running unfettered down the field. Watch him right here. Just going to come right down, and there's no one around him. Oh, you don't get that chance very often.
How is there no one around the All-American tight end?
Now that's the question, isn't it? We saw him score a touchdown earlier with no one around him. This is the guy they claimed they were going to double in this area of the field.
2nd down and 10. Blitz coming. Bryant dumps it off. And yards after catch for Beatty, who will find a path to the end zone. 21 yards and a score for the sophomore from Memphis.
Little screen pass, and Trevor Wallace-Sims had the key block, pulling out there the big man in space. He got his man down, and Beatty's just able to cut inside. See the big man 75 come out, boom, corner's gone. Beatty's got a clear path to the end zone.
Impressive 10-play, 75-yard drive.
Big answer after that explosive play from Carolina. Here's how you do it. Just drop it off to your guy who's explosive in space. He'll go to the house.
With Ray Bentley and Tara Talmadge, I'm Mike Morgan back with you here in Columbia, Missouri. Tigers back up by 10 after an impressive 10-play drive to respond to the 1-play scoring drive for the Gamecocks. Well, after a first half that was dominated thoroughly by defense, offensive fireworks here to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they get in locker rooms and draw up some new stuff based on what they're seeing. And a lot of times you identify and recognize good coaching staffs by that first couple drives in the 3rd quarter. You know somebody's working down there.
Well, you played some special teams in your day. How big of a weapon is it to have Tucker McCann, your kicker, a touchback on virtually every kick?
Oh, it's huge. I used to recover them kicks, and that was a love-hate thing. And when you don't have to really blow anybody up after running 50 yards as hard as you can, you kind of love that, but you also kind of hate it a little bit. You know, you want to get that big hit, but to not have to worry about that play and a big return, that's huge for a defense.
Ryan Hilinski has taken some hits today. Struggled in the first half, 1 for 1 in the second. Back to pass here. And that one is floating over the hands of Rico Dowdle.
I had to set up a screen, and South Carolina well schooled on that, or excuse me, Missouri well schooled on that. The defensive line slid over there and took it away from him. He kind of had to throw it away. Akil Byers made the play.
Blitz coming, and Hilinski just couldn't wait to get rid of it. Brian Edwards was the only man in the area, so a rough start to this drive. Now 3rd down and 10.
They have not been good on 3rd down, and a lot of them have been 3rd and longs like this. Behind the chains puts undue pressure on the young quarterback to make a play.
I'm with you. I'm surprised we have not seen more Kyle Markway and Nick Muse, the tight ends. They were so effective last week.
I'm mystified.
Hilinski, clean pocket, rifles one deep and in and out of the outstretched hands of Shi Smith. Smith is trying to catch his breath.
So as a cover 2, they had 2 safeties back in the corner, kind of sits down, and there's that little area in there that John Madden used to call the turkey hole. He tried to turkey hole him right there, but just a little overthrown and a little late with the throw. Got Markway down at the bottom of the screen now. There's a tight end flexed out, and they can get him involved.
Hilinski giving up ground, throws off balance and completes it. What a throw, and there is the tight end, Kyle Markway.
Yeah, they like the matchup when they get him out on the edge. He's going against Christian Holmes, and this is a timing route. A really nice throw, going off to your left and throwing a ball like that on a dime. That's as good as it gets right there.
I mean, I don't think we were overselling it at the beginning of this broadcast. I don't know what we've been looking at so far, but he has special arm talent. I mean, he is unique in that regard. Dowdle is the back behind Hilinski. And they fake it to him and then throw it, and it's complete at the 35 to Kyle Markway. Gutsy call, and it comes up well for Carolina.
I thought he was going to throw it outside to Chandler Farrell, who I thought was pretty much open, but he stuck with Markway and makes a beautiful throw on an excellent route.
I am stunned that they didn't run it there on 4th and 1.
That's a gutsy call.
That is a big-time gutsy call. Feaster now in it back. 1st and 10 from the 35 as the drive continues. Hilinski uncorks one, and now he's starting to catch rhythm. Caught that one, did Bryant Edwards, his favorite target, and all of a sudden Hilinski's arm seems to be loosened up. 23 yards.
It's a tough cover on number 89, Bryant Edwards, because he has the speed to run past you, so you got to respect him when he's running all out. And then he puts the brakes on and comes back to the ball, and the timing was there.
On 1st down, a little jet sweep to Edwards. Edwards galloping past the 20 and upended at the 19.
Great vision by Edwards, cutting that thing up there in the B gap instead of outside where it's generally designed to go. They have an unbalanced line, X off, X is Edwards, and they got blockers over there on the front end, but great vision cutting that up when he did.
On 2nd down, Feaster pummeled right near the line of scrimmage. Just nothing there.
Those 2 linebackers were there. Bolton and Garrett showed up together, and those guys are momentum stuffers, because I started to get the feel like Carolina was feeling it a little bit. Those guys said, no, you're not.
one of the better duos of linebackers in this league, Nick Bolton and Cale Garrett. On third down, Hilinski missiles one to the 15 and out of bounds. First down yardage. First down for Shi Smith, the junior out of Union, South Carolina.
Hilinski's starting to look like Hilinski right now.
Yes, he is. This is the quarterback we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Throwing dimes and very accurate, good timing here in the second half.
12th play of the drive. Hilinski whips it over to the near side and knocked out of bounds. Tavian Feaster out of the backfield makes the grab. A pickup of 5.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden Ryan Hilinski has got it going again, back in that groove. You can almost see the confidence that he has. He's hit 8 out of 11 here in the second half, and he's been throwing strikes, whereas he was just a bit outside.
Yes, he was. He's had pinpoint accuracy here in this third quarter. Second down. Feaster plowing ahead for a couple. It'll be third down from the 3. Ryan Hilinski, one of the things they just marvel about, including the Missouri coaches, his composure, his poise. He just doesn't act like a true freshman. Nothing seems to faze this young man.
Looks like he took the tape off of the inside of his elbow that he had on earlier, and maybe that was hindering.
Third and goal from the 3. Play action, passes, picked off! Picked off by Mizzou and a whole lot of daylight ahead. Ronell Perkins down the sideline. Perkins! Touchdown! Return for the senior out of St. Louis.
It was a gift, too. I mean, that ball was thrown right into his chest. Another pick 6 for this Mizzou defense. That's their 3rd on the year and their 2nd defensive touchdown today.
As you mentioned, a flat-out gift. They stayed with the hot hand on 3rd and short, and Hilinski makes a big error here.
He does, and I don't know what he's looking at necessarily. He just never saw the inside defender, Perkins, and Perkins saw him, and then he saw the end zone.
Ryan Hilinski, again, every game is a teaching moment, and that one's certainly a teaching moment. You're 3 yards away from making this a 3-point game, and an ill-advised throw returned 100 yards to the house. That's 2 gift-wrapped scores for this Missouri defense today. That's the difference in the game. Gamecocks will set up shop at the 25, and Ryan will have to shake it off in a hurry.
Yeah, and I think this is a case of tunnel vision, because here's your defender, and watch Hilinski. He just never sees him, despite the fact that he's right in the throwing lane. It won't get any easier than that for Ronell Perkins.
3rd pick 6 of the year for this Missouri defense. Remember, the 3 losses in a row. The first thing that Coach Odom told us that was the biggest factor, -7 turnover margin combined in those 3 losses. Today, it's Missouri winning the battle of turnovers.
Points off of turnovers for sure. They're 2-2 on turnovers, but they've scored on both of theirs.
Yeah, how about this? Missouri, 41 points off turnovers this season.
That's what you call capitalizing. That feeds your defense. When they know they can do something and then it changes a game, that gets guys flying around.
Hilinski over the middle, complete.
It's Nick Muse.
And there is the other tight end, Nick Muse, the transfer from William & Mary.
He was a primary target last week against Alabama.
And they give it to Dowdle. don't know if he got there, and the ball comes out, and Missouri recovers it.
Akil Byers made the hit. He might have recovered the football, forced a fumble, and made the tackle, the trifecta for the backup defensive tackle. There's the hit. Yup, ball's out, and it lands right in the belly of Byers. He's like, oh, look what I got down here. And another takeaway for this Missouri defense.
That is a backbreaker for Carolina. And a huge play by the junior out of Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Take a shot here. That's what I'd do. Got them on their heels.
Akil Byers comes up big. Mizzou try to make him pay here. Bryant buying time and then sees nobody open, will throw it away. 31-14 your score heading into quarter number 4 here in Como. Gamecocks, Tigers. A lot of defense in the first half, a lot of offense in the second. Back with you here in Columbia, Missouri. It's the Tigers lead of the Gamecocks 31-14. If you go back to Derek Dooley's days, he gets the head coaching job at Tennessee. Tennessee was starting to decline already. It does not go well for Derek Dooley. He'd be the first one to tell you. Then he has to kind of start over, hit the reset button, goes to the NFL ranks as a wide receivers coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Derek's in there.
He's up there somewhere.
He's up there behind
calling them plays.
Camouflage glass. And then to get the phone call from Barry Odom. And Barry Odom told us, he said, look, I knew a coach that I trusted with the Cowboys. I asked him, I said, what do you think of Derek Dooley? He said, the guy's been great here. I would hire him.
Yeah, get him if you can.
And you're talking about a guy that knows the SEC, knows how to recruit, knows how to call plays, and he'll be the first one to tell you he's a better coach now than he was 10 years ago.
He is becoming a bit of a quarterback guru. What he did with Drew Lock's game in this offense, particularly at the end of the year last year, and now he's getting the feel for Kelly Bryant. We asked him, do you know him fully yet? He goes, no, I'm still learning him, but we're getting them better, and they've shown that here this afternoon.
Derek Dooley was a big part of the sales pitch, if you will, for Kelly Bryant to come to Missouri. Big hole up the middle. And a first down run for Roundtree. Roundtree's the kind of guy you just don't want to face in this situation, and now a late penalty flag. Some frustration boiling over perhaps on the Gamecock side of things.
Yeah, and this defense is getting worn out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's over 70 plays for Missouri in this game, and South Carolina's only run 49, and the time of possession is 10 minutes different.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 6. Is half the distance from the end of the run. First down.
That's on T.J. Brunson, and again, that's a senior. You know, the one on Roderick, you say, oh, he's a sophomore, he's young, he'll learn. You don't expect that out of your senior. That's 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
And when you get fatigued, the discipline goes. That's the first thing, and we're seeing that manifested by this tired defense right now.
Missouri methodically moving downfield on this drive. Roundtree again. Been a steady dose of the junior tailback out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Squeezes out a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And Missouri will look back at this drive, if they finish this thing off, as a huge growth moment for this offense and this football team. Putting somebody away by being physical, running straight at them, executing on offense, and working your way down the field with discipline.
As part of this offense, we didn't get a good gauge on, even from the coaches, the O-line. You know, they had to replace a couple of starters. Nobody considered it a weakness, but I don't know if anybody would label them a strength. They've been a strength today.
They have.
Bryant running for his life. Was blasted at about the 5. Well, that play goes nowhere. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Not sure what he's pointing at. Usually you get that first down signal from guys these days, but that's not even an option here. Yeah. It's touchdown or bust.
Bryant stacked up and wrapped up for a loss.
That was a weird looking play, kind of shaky. It didn't look like Roundtree knew if he was supposed to get a fake or what he was doing. He kind of just stopped a little bit, and Bryant just kind of fell in behind him. Not a great way to finish that drive. I was just making a big deal out of.
Staley on the tackle for the Gamecocks. Now a 25-yarder for Tucker McCann. And this time he knocks it through. Missouri up by 3 touchdowns, 9:17 to go here in Como. Now, it has not been a glorious day for this Gamecock offense. They got 1 touchdown set up by a turnover, and they just punched it in from a yard out. And then they had one play drive on a 75-yard touchdown pass to Bryant Edwards. So basically their 2 scores have come on 2 one-yard drives thus far. To carry on Joyner in the coming weeks, at least to give Ryan Hilinski a little bit of a break from time to time, a change of pace. Joyner more in that Savell Newton mold. If Gamecock fans certainly will remember that name, former quarterback and wide receiver going back to the Steve Spurrier era.
Well, Hilinski hadn't been hit like he was hit to date. You know, they didn't really get after him that much against Alabama last week. They protected him pretty well. He took some shots here this afternoon.
Yeah, there's nothing questioning his toughness, and again stayed composed. He'd love to have the pick 6 back.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a ball.
Dude, that was a 14-point swing.
Yep.
If they score there, it's a 3-point game.
3-point game.
Instead, it goes the other way.
And he was just starting to catch fire after a really shaky first half. Better days ahead for that young freshman who's got a chance to be a really good one the next few years in the SEC. Joyner uncorks a deep ball, and that is almost a one-handed pick. Tyree Gillespie, who's the fastest player on the Missouri team, almost made a sensational grab.
And not on the same page with the receiver, and it almost became costly, the 4th potential turnover of the afternoon, but Gillespie wasn't quite able to one-hand that thing. That'd have been a top 10er if he'd have got that.
Absolutely. Now 3rd down and 6. Joyner over the middle, and a nice grab by Markway. We thought we'd see more Kyle Markway in this game. Yeah. Young man out of St. Louis, Missouri.
I think it's just his 3rd catch, probably 4th or 5th target, and then Nick Muse with only 1 grab on the day. They used the tight ends a lot up till this date. Maybe they thought it was time to change that.
Edwards over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown today. Caught in the flat and weaving his way down the sideline. Nick Muse, the transfer from William & Mary.
All Colonial Athletic Conference player last year for William & Mary. Nice transfer pickup for this offense. Just a little underutilized this afternoon.
These reps might seem meaningless in terms of the outcome of the game. They mean everything to Dakarion Jordan, who's trying to prove he belongs. Overshoots Smith on that play, but Dakarion Joyner is a young man who was electric in high school. Led his team to a state championship at Fort Dorchester. They want to find ways to get him on the field, whether it's at quarterback, whether it's at wide receiver. He's too electric to not use him.
Well, once they determined Hilinski was going to be the backup in training camp, they moved Joyner to receiver. And then, of course, when Jake Bentley got injured, they had to move him back into quarterback, and now he does both.
Joyner buying time, looking end zone, and nothing there.
That should be a penalty.
It sure will.
That just makes no sense. McGuire pushes him 2 yards out of bounds.
It's true freshman Isaiah McGuire. No need, and he'll get a talking to by head coach Barry Odom.
That should move it half the distance, right?
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense number 99. Half the distance, 1st down.
Joyner a chance to maybe try to put one in the end zone here. Scored last week against Alabama on a little running play.
Yeah, still in search of his first career touchdown pass. Minute 28 to play. And Joyner goes down. Too much time. Kobe Whiteside says,
Second one for Kobe Whiteside on the day. And this is the time when defensive linemen like to eat. Late in the game when you know they're going to throw.
First charge time out of the half. South Carolina. Game clock operator. Who's put 1:21 back in the game clock? 1:21 on the game clock.
Rookie. Mondays at 7 Eastern on the SEC Network. It's Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions Bank. Greg McElroy, Marcus Spears break down the weekend of the gridiron and look ahead to the hottest topics for the coming week. With Ray Bentley, Tara Talmadge, Mike Morgan here, and Columbia, Missouri, and they will be able to celebrate their 5th consecutive conference win. That's the 2nd longest streak since they joined the SEC, and they'll snap a 3-game losing streak to the Gamecocks. There was no question they had this game circled for a while. This was one that was going to be potential impetus for something good this season as Joyner bounces off defenders, running for his life, and then just throws it away on 2nd and goal.
Winning the opener, the SEC opener for Missouri, is a nice harbinger for them, because in their tenure in the SEC, they've done that twice, and they've won their division each of those times.
That's right.
So,
what are you trying to say?
Too early to celebrate yet?
There's still 7 on the schedule.
Right,
I'm not quite there.
If history is any indicator, you know it does repeat itself.
It does.
Who knows?
Georgia might have something to say about that, and that game will be between the hedges. Georgia, of course, big game tonight against Notre Dame. The prohibitive favorites to win the East as Joyner throws, completes it at the 4. That's Shi Smith. Missouri has lost the last 5 to the Georgia Bulldogs, so that will certainly be a tough one. I think the Florida game here
Second charge time
is as big as any left on the schedule.
30 seconds.
I think that's a winnable game. You see, I mean, Ole Miss, high percentage to win at Vandy, at Kentucky, swing game, at Georgia, major underdog. Can you circle that for me, Ray Bentley? You
Which
got
one?
to tell it. The Florida game.
Underdog one? Oh, the other one. Hey, all right.
You get to play with all the toys. I just sit here and talk.
I love the toys.
I think that one determines a lot for Missouri in terms of how their overall season is looked at the end of the year.
They have a rare 5-game homestand that they're in the middle of right now. So it'll be interesting to see when they go on the road how their ability is to handle things there. They're 0-1 on the road thus far, as we mentioned that Wyoming loss in the opener.
4th down and goal. Joyner looking to run. Throws it up last second when his intended target was on his back. That's Kyle Markway.
Markway tripped just as Joyner flipped the ball in the air. He almost got it rolling around on his back. Watch him come through a little scissors route. The 2-men cross. Joyner's moving up in the pocket. He saw it, but the turf monster takes out Markway. Every coach will tell you this is his favorite play to call.
Oh, yeah. 2 years ago, Kelly Bryant led his Clemson Tigers to victory over the Gamecocks. Threw for a couple of scores in that one. Today, similar numbers through the 2 more touchdowns. And Kelly Bryant has a victory over Carolina in a Missouri uniform.
I thought he really got into his rhythm in the second half. This whole offense did.
That'll do it. Missouri improves to 3-1, and more importantly, a 1-0 mark in the Southeastern Conference.
They take a bye next week to get healthy and then get it on again. They got Troy, and then they start the meat of the SEC schedule.
The battle for the Mayor's Cup is won by Mizzou, and it's the first win against the Gamecocks since 2015. 34-14, your final score here in Columbia.
Boy, the big play of the game, we talked about it already, was the Hilinski interception on the goal line that went 100 yards the other direction, a 14-point swing. Could have been a 3-point game. Now it's 17, and that's really when the air went out of the balloon.
Before we talk about that, let's hear from Coach Odom. Tara Talmadge standing by.
Coach, first one over South Carolina in 3 years. What does it mean to you to get this one today?
Well, it's great for our kids. They've worked really hard to get in this position. They executed today, and really playmakers stood up and executed and made plays. You know, we got the turnover margin in our favor finally. That's kind of been our Achilles heel in this game. And then in crucial moments, we were able to make plays. So proud of our guys. They executed the game plan this week, really on the things, their habits throughout the week. They were focused and on a mission, and I'm glad they played the way they did.
First SEC win of the season right now on a 3-game win streak. What's brewing with this team?
Well, we got a lot better yet to get, and you look at it, comes now we have a bye week, and we've got to maintain, and we can get a lot better in all three phases, and that'll be the focus here the next couple of days. We have a good, really good Troy team coming in here in a couple weeks, and then it's back in conference play. So we've got a lot better to get, and we got to go back to work.
Coach, thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Tara, thank you. A very happy Coach Barry Odom as his Missouri Tigers snap a losing streak to the Gamecocks and pick up their 5th consecutive conference win. The Mayor's Cup goes to Mizzou. That's all from Columbia. Ray Bentley, pleasure working with you, my friend.
Enjoyed it, brother.
Enjoyed it very much. Don't forget San Jose State and Arkansas coming up tonight at 7:30 Eastern right here on the SEC Network. For Ray Bentley and Tara Talmadge, Mike Morgan saying so long from Mizzou.